We begin with the coronavirus. The pandemic has hit a staggering milestone: 1 million lives lost. The virus has shaken the world since it was first confirmed in China in January. In recent weeks, around 5,000 deaths were reported every day. The United States is fighting the world's biggest outbreak. Johns Hopkins University says there have been over 205,000 deaths confirmed in the country. In Brazil, cases began mounting early this summer. More than 142,000 have died. More recently, infections have surged in India, with fatalities reaching over 95,000. As the numbers continue to rise, U.S. President Donald Trump says his country is expanding its testing capabilities and that results can be returned within minutes.
Today, I'm pleased to report that we're announcing our plan to distribute 150 million Abbott rapid point-of-care tests in the coming weeks, very, very soon.
Trump says the kits will be used at schools, senior care homes, and other facilities, and are aimed at supporting efforts to reopen the economy. The nasal swab test was developed by a U.S. firm and can reportedly produce results within 15 minutes. The announcement comes one day before Trump is set to face off against Democratic nominee Joe Biden in the first of 3 presidential debates. The coronavirus pandemic is expected to be one of the top issues. And another topic that is expected to be raised is a New York Times report about Trump's tax records. The U.S. president defended himself on Monday, saying he paid many millions of dollars in taxes. The Times reported that Trump paid no federal income taxes at all in 10 of the 15 years before he became president, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made. The paper said he paid $750 in income taxes in 2016 and 17. Trump on Monday tweeted that the fake news media is bringing up taxes and all sorts of other nonsense with illegally obtained information and only bad intent. He claims he paid many millions of dollars in taxes, but was entitled like everyone else to depreciation and tax credits. Ahead of his first debate with the president, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is stepping up his attack on Trump. Biden's campaign posted a video claiming that elementary school teachers and firefighters paid more income tax than Trump did. Trump's tax records could become one of the leading issues of the election. In 2016, Trump's appeal to blue-collar workers was considered a factor behind his victory. Heavy clashes continued on Monday night between Azerbaijani and Armenian forces. The fighting erupted on Sunday in the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region in western Azerbaijan. More than 95 people were killed, including 11 civilians. The 2 former Soviet republics have been in conflict for more than 3 decades over the mainly ethnic Armenian Nagorno-Karabakh autonomous region in Azerbaijan. Russia backs Armenia while Turkey supports Azerbaijan. The Kremlin urged both sides to exercise the utmost restraint. Turkey said the region will see peace once Armenia withdraws from Azerbaijan territory. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres issued a statement on Sunday urging an immediate ceasefire. Top leaders from China's Communist Party will meet next month to chart an economic blueprint for the next 5 years. More than 300 officials will attend, including President Xi Jinping. State media reports the Central Committee's 5th plenary session will take place between October 26 and 29 in Beijing. Long-term goals that extend to 2035 are also expected to be on the agenda. In 2015, China stated it wanted to be a global technology leader, but tensions with the U.S. has resulted in fierce competition, including securing contracts to develop other countries' 5G networks. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Kato Katsunobu says the government is watching the human rights situation of the Uyghurs, a Muslim ethnic minority in China, with concern. Beijing is facing accusations from the international community that it is unjustly detaining Uyghurs who live in the Xinjiang region.
We believe it's important for universal values such as freedom, human rights, and the rule of law to be respected in the international community, including China.
Last week, Chinese President Xi Jinping indicated at a meeting to discuss Xinjiang policies that Beijing will continue to exercise ideological and religious control in the region. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is expected to visit Japan as early as next month to hold talks with his Japanese counterpart, Motegi Toshimitsu. Kato said Japan will convey its position on the Xinjiang issue to Beijing. Japanese telecom giant Nippon Telegraph and Telephone plans to launch a takeover bid worth about $38 billion to acquire a 100% stake in its wireless subsidiary, NTT Docomo. NTT currently owns about 66% of the mobile carrier, which is the most profitable part of the NTT group. Sources say that NTT has decided to take full control of Docomo by acquiring the roughly 34% of outstanding stock in the company. NTT hopes to gain more profit from the wireless carrier, which has the most subscribers in Japan. NTT also plans to strengthen its alliance with other group companies that offer corporate telecommunication services and operate internationally. NTT is aiming to boost its competitiveness in the fields of 5G and other next-generation communications. The move comes as Japan's new Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide said he wants to see lower mobile phone rates in the country. An operator of a bullet train network in Japan has developed a computer system to keep trains safe from severe flooding. Officials at East Japan Railway say their technology ensures Shinkansen trains can be moved away from disaster zones. The system's development took place after a typhoon last October. Heavy rain flooded a river and nearby rail yard in central Japan, damaging 10 bullet trains. All were scrapped. The computerized system can predict the rise in a river's water level. The data is based on weather forecasts for the local area during a day-and-a-half-long period. The system generates an alert for triggering preparation activities like gathering train crew members and drawing up evacuation destinations. There is also a warning level indicating when trains should be moved away from dangerous areas. Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force and the Indian Navy have concluded a joint exercise in the northern Arabian Sea aimed at strengthening security cooperation. Frigates, destroyers, and fighter jets took part in the three-day exercise that concluded on Monday. Its goal was to enhance interoperability and joint operational skills. It was the fourth edition of the drill. Earlier this month, the two countries signed a key agreement allowing their security forces to access each other's bases for logistics support. There are growing concerns over China's military activities in the Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific regions. India and China are also locked in a tense military standoff in the northern Himalayas. South Korean prosecutors have decided not to indict Justice Minister Chu Mi-ae over allegations she pressured the military to give her son special treatment. Charges against Chu and her son were dropped on Monday. They stemmed from claims by a major opposition party that the Justice Minister asked the military to grant her son extended leave from mandatory military service in 2017. At the time, Chu was the chair of the ruling Democratic Party. Prosecutors concluded her son's leave was granted appropriately and that it is hard to believe there was external pressure. Her predecessor was also accused of securing preferential treatment. Last October, former Justice Minister Cho Guk resigned amid allegations that his children had help getting into prestigious schools. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has called an apology from his North Korean counterpart unprecedented and very special. Kim Jong-un issued the apology after the fatal shooting of a South Korean official.
I give special meaning to the apology. It's unprecedented and very unusual that North Korea's leader has apologized directly and immediately.
A 47-year-old fisheries official was shot dead last week after crossing a maritime border into North Korea. The South says North Korean troops burned his body at sea. It led Kim Jong-un to issue a real apology. North Korea's news agency says the body will be handed over to the South once it is found. Moon also said lines of communication between the countries should be restored to prevent unexpected incidents. North Korea cut those lines in June. Lawmakers of South Korea's largest opposition party have denounced Moon for his handling of the incident. Conservative media have slammed him for failing to hold North Korea accountable for the killing. Now to Indonesia, where a Japanese national is dead and several others are recovering after drinking illegal liquor. That's according to officials at the Japanese embassy in Jakarta. The victims, who live in the capital region, are believed to have obtained the toxic moonshine from acquaintances. Embassy officials have released photos of what the bottles look like and are warning Japanese expats to avoid them. While Indonesia is a predominantly Muslim country, alcohol is still available at supermarkets and restaurants. But inexpensive moonshine has become a growing problem in recent years. In 2018, it caused more than 50 deaths. Let's check out the world weather with our meteorologist Yoko Komagata. So Yoko, people in the western United States are still dealing with massive wildfires. So more rain is what they need most, but can we expect that to happen anytime soon?
Unfortunately, no rainfall is expected across a large portion of the western U.S. throughout the week. In addition to the dry weather, well above average temperatures will persist in the area that may trigger new wildfires. A large and strong high-pressure system will keep things dry and hot in California and the Rocky Mountains. Historic drought conditions have led to ongoing fires. A hospital and hundreds of homes were forced to evacuate after wildfires started in Northern California. Firefighters battled the flames on Sunday and Monday in the wine-growing region. Wildfires in California have burnt about 1.5 million hectares and destroyed over 7,000 structures. People in the north and southern parts of California will continue to deal with critical fire risks on Tuesday. Santa Ana winds could make conditions worse, and extreme hot temperatures are expected in the southwest. The high could reach the upper 30s in LA over the next couple of days. Smoke from the fires could cause unhealthy conditions. In Europe, a couple of low-pressure systems will continue to produce severe thunderstorms in Italy and the Balkans. Parts of the Alpine region saw gusts of over 140 kilometers per hour. Unstable conditions will shift east into Ukraine and Turkey as we go into Tuesday. Some of the severe thunderstorms could produce sudden bursts of showers, large hail, and strong gusts. Meanwhile, sunny conditions are expected in the Western Europe for the next couple of days. But a low-pressure system will produce wet weather as we go into the weekend. As it does so, cold air will spread across the UK all the way down to Spain. You'll enjoy sunny and mild temperatures in Madrid on Tuesday and Wednesday, but it will rain on Friday with much cooler temperatures. That's all for now. Stay safe.